want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
So the store manager says that he had to do something more than call 911. And most customers, I'll tell you, that I talked to this evening on and off camera say that they support this, but there were a few who say they don't believe this is the right approach. Hired security strapped with AR-15s or shotguns, standing guard and walking the property of this North Philly gas station and convenience store. Neil Patel is the manager of this Carco shop franchise at Broad and Clearfield.
We are tired from this all nonsense, robbery, drug trafficking, racketings, all kind of hanging around all gangs.
Mary Berry says she's on board with it.
If you're trying to get gas, you live in a bad area, and the only place is here, and they're getting robbed all the time, I mean, I support the owner.
He shared with me these videos of what has led up to this drastic response to crime at his business. Over the past few weeks, he says his store was trashed by young people, an ATM stolen out of the store, and he says his car was vandalized while parked at the store.
They're forcing us to hire the security, high-level security, state level. I am fear for my safety of my employee as well as my nice neighborhood, all customers.
So 3 weeks ago, he hired the Pennsylvania site state agent.
This is supposed to be a city, right? And you got the kids walking around. Guns like that should be on the battlefield.
We wear Kevlar. We are trained. My guys go to training every other week. They're proficient with this. They're proficient with their taser. They know the laws.
Andre Boyer is the chief of the company.
As a Pennsylvania state agent, that's what it says. The law tells us that we have a right to protect this property in any means necessary, and whatever force necessary to be used to protect it.
This man told employees he's against it. I asked Patel about it. They feel like using guns, you know, when we have such a big problem with guns in the city, is not the right message.
And that's not a right. I understand that, but according to some people, violent people, they carry the gun. Then they're not afraid then, and this is the protection for neighborhood and the customers.
All right, so you heard him. He just said that people who are against this are concerned about the armed security, but they should be concerned about the bad guys who are out there carrying the guns.
All right, so you were able to hear and or see, depending on how I did the video, you were able to hear or see or both what was taking place, right? You had a gas station in Philly that consistently has to deal with robbery, that has to deal with people trying to vandalize and do a variety of things to the business, to cars, you know, and a lot of other things, you know, potentially not only jeopardizing the business, but also the lives of the customers and the people directly in the area. And we all know what normally happens with crime. If you don't happen to put a stop to it, or you don't put something up there to make people second guess, then it's going to get worse and it's going to get to a further extent and it's going to spread. So I 100% support 100% support what it is that the owner did. And the reason why is because I saw at least two black men up there stating that, yo, they disagree with this, yada, yada, yada. And this is the main thing that I've always stated when it comes to the black community, right? If you disagree with something that's taking place, that's fine. But don't just make comments about it and say yada, yada, yada. Make sure that whatever you're disagreeing with, you go out there and you go fix the problem, right? So those two black men who are disagreeing with what it is that are taking place, what specifically are you and many other black men in that community that disagree with the owner having armed security patrolling his property and his gas station, not only making sure the property is safe, but also making sure that the women who got to come to that gas station are safe as well? What are you specifically doing in that community to make sure that the kids are in order, to make sure that the women are safe, and to make sure that crime is not going to be prevalent in that area? What are you doing? Nothing. You're not doing nothing but just talking. You're not doing nothing but just talking. And that's the thing that I get tired of every single time. Like, that's 1,000% ridiculous to me. Now, if this is the difference, if those black men were like, yo, we disagree with this, da da da, we have, you know, some other things that we feel can basically work. If they would have said that they were going to stand guard, or if they had a group of black men that were going to be opening the doors, that were going to patrol the areas, that were going to show a united front at that gas station to stave off any of that type of stuff. And they were going to take turns and shifts and whatnot, because that gas station is a part of the community. The community uses that gas station. So it's, in a sense, almost one and the same. If they said that that was a plan, then so be it. That'd be cool. Right? But that's not what took place. Neither of those black men that disagreed with what the owner was doing had a plan to enact at that moment in time in order to stave off any of that criminal activity that was taking place. The owner already stated that, yo, we had people break in and they stole an ATM. You already know what color they were. You had people that sat up there and broke in there, and you saw how everything was looking disheveled throughout the store. You saw broken shelves, items all over the floor. You know what color they were. Like I said, all I'm saying is this: if you are a black man in that Philadelphia community and you disagree with this, then you need to make sure that you do your part. Start getting those kids in order. Get the dads or the uncles or the brothers, stepbrothers, whoever you got. Get the positive black male role models together, and y'all start coming up with an initiative to stave off a lot of this criminal behavior from a lot of the young people in that community, because there's a reason why they're doing it. There's a reason why they're committing those crimes. One of the reasons is because they don't have positive male role models in order to keep them in check and to keep them in line. And maybe the ones that they do have, they pretty much feel defeated at this moment in time, right? So maybe those dudes need a little bit more backup, right? They need somebody to be like, yo, we got you back. We want to help you stand up straight. You got this, right? Like I said before, there's a multitude of things that can be done in the community to stop a lot of these things. Trying to debate and argue and have a conversation with the owner and let him know what you like and don't like is not going to sit up there and help save that business at the end of the day. It's not going to make sure that the women that got to go to that gas station at different times of the day, and especially at night, are going to be safe. It's not going to stave off young people from directly congregating directly at that establishment, which they shouldn't be congregating at. And it's not going to stop anybody or those young people from rolling directly up in that gas station, trying to vandalize any of the vehicles or trying to run in there and steal anything. Now, I bet you this: let this owner run this whole program for a year, and I bet you the crime at that gas station cease to exist, because people are now going to go elsewhere, because they're like, man, it ain't even worth it. I ain't about to sit up there and risk my life. I ain't about to lose my, like I said, people going to be second guessing. People will be second guessing their life choices, because they understand now that when there's actual things there that can prevent what it is that they like to do, they're not going to take unnecessary risks with their lives. That's all it is. That's all it is. And the other beautiful part that I love about this is that it's black men that's working this. And then the main leader, the main head of that whole organization of those armed security guards, is that of a black man. So if anything, the community, especially those black men that want to run their mouth, they should be the main ones supporting those black men, because they're out there doing something that they're not going to do. They're out there putting their lives on the line and risking their lives for that community. Something that those black men who are sitting up there trying to debate in a gas station say that they don't like this, something that they're not willing to do. Like I said, some people are willing to talk, other people are willing to walk. You can clear cut see the difference in that video.